The first time I remember that I was snowmobiling was in 1969, riding around the house at my home. My mother has been telling me afterwards that I went inside and got a helmet, and then I started going really fast around the house, so she had to stop me. Since my father was a Lynx dealer, it was quite obvious that I was riding a Lynx, of course. But the obvious thing to do when you're living like we do here is to go snowmobiling and race with snowmobiles. I started racing in 1980 with the smaller 340cc sleds. I did that for a couple of years. We were aware that Lynx had built a snowcross sled for Finland. Aimo Laarvia told me that the sled was coming to Sweden for racing for the 1984 season. I've been doing quite well on the racetracks, so I got an offer from Aimo to ride that sled. I remember the first race on the Lynx. I had time to ride the sled a lot because it came quite late, and I was back in 12th or 13th place or something like that, and I thought, shit, this is not good. I went home, practiced hard, learned the sled, and the next race was in Östersund, the biggest race in Sweden for all season, and then we were fully prepared, and then Lynx dominated that race. So, of course, in 1985, I think we won every race, the four Lynx riders that year. I was a bit hesitant because I didn't know what to expect, what kind of competition there would be. I got into the flow quite easily, and when we came for the Swedish National Championships, we have things sorted out. And my first year in the open class, I won the championship then. The thing that Aimo Laarvia did was that he was very brave and he was very intelligent in selecting his riders, because he didn't pick up the established riders. But then the riders were also young, charging guys with a completely new style of riding. The GLS was the complete package, with very good front suspension, very good rear suspension, very good engines, perfect balance in the sled. And the other competitors maybe had one or two of the components, but the Lynx was complete. This sled was bigger and it was heavier, and you can think that that would be a disadvantage, but it wasn't, because it allowed you to go much faster through the bumps, and you didn't slow down. You just pulled full throttle. The GLS model made the brand awareness that was missing. But I think the 5900, I mean, it was selling in huge amounts for many years. And I mean, it's still around.
I had to step in big shoes right away in the beginning. I became responsible for the GLX 5900 product itself. It was real crossover in its class, combining the deep snow capacity of the long and wide track together with the comfort of the slide trail suspension. Combination never seen before. Since that, every single manufacturer has copied our GLX so that they have similar construction. There were professionals who were riding it, their families, they were fishermen. It was filling the needs of every customer group. So in 2 years it took the whole market so that it became a big success. The same year, 1985, we came with the first Lynx sport vehicle, iconic GLS 3300. So it was a big year, big launch. Lynx was well known about the utility vehicle and things like that, so that not too sexy things. And now we got a new consumer base, so that who were looking for the more sportier machines. we build a strong foundation for the Lynx and for the company, so that we came with complete new products. When we got a new CEO, Pekka Ojanen, who take the lead also in the marketing, and let's say that we really start to develop. We made the first films, like first Synchro and Unbeatable, very famous films still today.
Paikkakunnalla oli Tulppiossa mökkikylä, mutta se oli talvisaikaan suljettuna, kun ei ollut asiakkaita. Näin päätettiin järjestää sellainen safari, jossa käydään Korvatunturilla. Meillä oli tarkoitus, että poromiehet ovat sitten oppaina ja ovat valmiita sitten viemään turistia, kun niitä tulee. Kun niitä tulee, me olimme varmoja, että niitä tulee. Päätimme jakaa ryhmän 2 ryhmään. Käydään lähellä rajavyöhykettä, niin valokuvaajat saavat Korvatunturista kuvan. Lehdissä näkyy erittäin paljon juttua tuosta matkasta. Se kiinnitti huomiota eri piireissä ympäri maata. Ja niin minulle tuli Mekin toimistosta Helsingistä soitto, että voisinko minä tulla asiaa esittelemään. Ja näille pitäisi kertoa, miten Korvatunturin matkoja tehdään kelkkaillen. Me päätettiin, että järjestetään Tulppion safarit oikein kunnolla. 87, jolloin tehtiin ensimmäinen yhteissafari. Siinä oli noin 80 tai 100 kelkkailijaa, mutta sitten oli meillä seuralaisiakin niin, että semmoinen 300 ihmisen joukkoa siinä siirreltiin. Kelkkailu oikein johdettuna saa kyllä ihmiset liikkeelle. Eli siinä isoa joukkoa liikutetaan ja iso joukko tuo tullessaan myöskin ison tukun rahaa. Ja rahastahan se oli tämä kiinni, se oli matkailu.
Because we came more and more recreational producer, and it didn't fit very well to Valmet Corporation, who was well known about the heavy machinery, so they were willing to sell the division. Bombardier probably saw a good opportunity to buy that, because they became an owner together with Stark-Johan Telko, who was the importer of Skido products to Finland. And I believe that they had some thoughts also that probably these products could be sold also in North America. I'm not sure, but I believe so. So we get access to the many components with the lower prices, and also we have to remember that we were using Rotax engines, and Rotax was owned by Bombardier at that time, so that now we were not anymore competitors, so we belong to the same family.